Question 1. Property insurance underwriting. Which of the following factors is least likely to influence the underwriting decision for a property insurance policy? A. The age of the property. B. The geographical location of the property. C. The income level of the property owner. D. The construction type of the property. Answer C. The income level of the property owner. Explanation. In property insurance underwriting, factors such as the age of the property, geographical location, e.g. proximity to flood zones or earthquakes, and construction type, e.g. wood frame versus brick, are essential in determining the risk of loss and appropriate coverage. The income level of the property owner, however, is generally not considered in property underwriting because the focus is on risk posed by the property itself rather than the financial background of the owner. The underwriting process is more concerned with evaluating the risk and loss potential of the property, not the personal finances of the insured. Question 2. Risk assessment and selection. Scenario-based. Mr. Rodriguez is applying for life insurance and is a 45-year-old non-smoker with a family history of heart disease. The underwriting process includes a review of his medical history, including a recent physical examination and blood tests. Based on this information, which of the following would most likely result in a substandard underwriting classification for Mr. Rodriguez? A. His age of 45. B. His family history of heart disease. C. His non-smoking status. D. His recent physical examination showing no immediate concerns. Answer B. His family history of heart disease. Explanation. Underwriting decisions take multiple factors into account, including the applicant's age, medical history, lifestyle choices, and family history. In this case, while Mr. Rodriguez's age of 45 and non-smoking status are favorable, family history of heart disease is a significant risk factor. Family history is an important part of medical underwriting as it may indicate higher risk. Developing similar health conditions, thus increasing the likelihood of higher premiums or substandard underwriting classification. Even though his recent physical examination shows no immediate health concerns, the hereditary risk is a major concern for underwriters in assessing potential future claims. Question 3. Underwriting regulations and compliance. Which of the following laws primarily regulates the use of consumer credit reports during the underwriting process? A. Fair Credit Reporting Act of CRA. B. National Association of Insurance Commissioners (NAIC) Model Act. C. Americans with Disabilities Act (ADA). D. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act (HIPAA). Answer A. Fair Credit Reporting Act (FCRA). Explanation. The Fair Credit Reporting Act (FCRA) is the law that primarily governs the use of consumer credit reports during the underwriting process. It ensures that consumer credit information is collected and used in a fair and accurate manner. Under the FCRA, insurers must inform applicants if their credit report is being used as part of the underwriting process, and the applicant must give consent. Additionally, if the credit report is used to deny coverage or adjust premium rates, the consumer is entitled to receive a notice of the action taken. The NAIC Model Act provides general guidelines for insurance regulation. The ADA relates to employment discrimination, and HIPAA governs privacy of medical information, not credit reports. Question 4. Risk assessment and selection. Which of the following is most likely to be a significant underwriting concern for a business applying for general liability insurance? A. The business's advertising expenses. B. The number of employees working at the business. C. The business's social media presence. D. The square footage of the business premises. Answer B. The number of employees working at the business. Explanation. When underwriting general liability insurance for a business, underwriters focus on factors that directly impact the risk of claims related to injuries, property damage, and other liabilities. The number of employees is a critical factor because more employees generally mean a higher risk of accidents or injuries occurring on the job. This affects the likelihood of claims for compensation or liability insurance. Advertising expenses, social media presence, and the square footage of the business premises are less directly related to general liability risk compared to the number of employees. Question 5. Underwriting risk management and loss prevention. Which of the following strategies is most commonly used to reduce the risk of moral hazard in underwriting? A. Requiring high deductible policies. B. Offering broad coverage with low exclusions. C. Implementing strict underwriting guidelines. D. Increasing policyholder premiums annually. Answer C. Implementing strict underwriting guidelines. Explanation. Moral hazard refers to the risk that the insured party may behave recklessly or with less caution because they are shielded from the full consequences of their actions due to insurance coverage. To minimize moral hazard, underwriters implement strict guidelines to ensure that applicants maintain proper risk management practices. This can include ensuring that businesses have safety protocols in place. Individuals have healthy lifestyle habits or acquiring appropriate coverage limits. Offering broad coverage or increasing premiums annually doesn't directly address moral hazard in the underwriting process. Question 6. Underwriting documentation and reporting. Which of the following is a key requirement when documenting underwriting decisions for property insurance? A. Documentation must include a detailed history of the insured's medical conditions. B. Documentation should outline the factors that led to the underwriting decision, such as the property's location and construction type. C. Only the insurer's risk management team should be aware of the underwriting rationale. D. All underwriting decisions must be kept confidential and cannot be shared with the applicant. Answer. B. Documentation should outline the factors that led to the underwriting decision, such as the property's location and construction type. Explanation. Proper documentation of underwriting decisions is essential to maintain transparency and ensure compliance with regulations. For property insurance, the documentation must outline the factors that led to the underwriting decision, such as the property's location, e.g., proximity to natural zones, its construction type, and any relevant risk factors. This allows for clear communication between underwriters and claims adjusters and provides record for regulatory compliance. Medical conditions are not relevant to property insurance, and while underwriting decisions are often confidential, they must be available to the applicant if requested, particularly when decisions involve denial or policy adjustments. Question 7. Life and health insurance underwriting. Which of the following would likely lead to a higher premium in life insurance underwriting? A. A non-smoker with no family history of major illnesses. B. A 35-year-old applicant in excellent health. C. An applicant with a recent diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. D. An applicant with a history of low cholesterol levels. Answer. C. An applicant with a recent diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. Explanation. Life insurance underwriting considers a range of health factors to assess the risk of mortality. A diagnosis of type 2 diabetes is a significant underwriting concern because it increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and other complications, thus raising the likelihood of a claim. As a result, premiums for such an applicant would likely be higher. Those in excellent health and applicants with low cholesterol are typically considered low risk and would not face a premium increase as a result of these factors. Question 8. Casualty insurance underwriting. Which of the following is the primary factor considered when underwriting workers' compensation insurance for a business? A. The business's claims history and safety record. B. The type of products the business manufactures. C. The number of customers the business serves. D. The marketing strategies used by the business. Answer. A. The business's claims history and safety record. Explanation. Workers' compensation insurance underwriting focuses on the risk of employee injuries and the potential costs of medical treatments and lost wages. The primary factors considered are the business's claims history and safety record. If a business has a history of frequent worker injuries or poor safety practices, the underwriter may raise the premiums or impose stricter terms. The type of products, customer base, and marketing strategies are not as directly related to workers' compensation underwriting, though they could impact the overall business risk. Question 9. Underwriting risk management and loss prevention. Which of the following is an effective underwriting strategy for managing catastrophic risk, such as damage from a natural disaster? A. Reducing policyholder premiums to attract more customers. B. Using catastrophe modeling and reinsurance. C. Allowing policyholders to modify their coverage based on personal preference. D. Excluding all natural disaster coverage from the policy. Answer. B. Using catastrophe modeling and reinsurance. Explanation. Catastrophic risks like natural disasters can cause massive losses that significantly affect insurers' profitability. To manage these risks, underwriters often use catastrophe modeling to predict the potential financial impact of various catastrophic events, and reinsurance is used to spread this risk to other insurers. This helps protect the insurer from large losses in the event of disaster. Reducing premiums or excluding coverage would increase exposure to catastrophic losses, and allowing policyholders to adjust coverage based on personal preference would undermine the goal of controlling risk. Question 10. Underwriting regulations and compliance. Which regulation requires insurers to notify applicants if their credit report will be used in the underwriting process? A. Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. B. Affordable Care Act, ACAT. C. National Flood Insurance Act. D. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. Answer A. Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. Explanation. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, governs the use of consumer credit reports in underwriting decisions. The FCRA mandates that insurers must notify applicants if their credit information will be used to determine eligibility for insurance or adjust premiums. Additionally, applicants must give consent for their credit information to be used, and they have the right to dispute any inaccuracy in the credit report. The Affordable Care Act, ACAT, and HIPAA are concerned with health insurance and privacy, while the National Flood Insurance Act is specific to flood insurance, not general credit report usage. Question 11. Risk assessment and selection. Which of the following is the most effective underwriting tool for assessing the likelihood of adverse selection? A. Inspection reports from third-party agencies. B. Credit scores and financial history. C. Claims history of applicants. D. Mortality tables for the applicant's age group. Answer C. Claims history of applicants. Explanation. Adverse selection occurs when applicants with higher risks are more likely to purchase insurance. A claims history is one of the most effective tools to identify this risk. A history of frequent claims indicates that the applicant has a higher likelihood of filing future claims, which is a sign of adverse selection. Inspection reports, credit scores, and mortality tables provide valuable information, are not as directly linked to adverse selection risk as claims history. Question 12. Casualty insurance underwriting. Which of the following factors is most important when underwriting commercial auto insurance for a business? A. The types of vehicles used by the business. B. The employees' ages. C. The number of customers the business serves. D. The business's advertising budget. Answer A. The types of vehicles used by the business. Explanation. The types of vehicles used by a business are one of the most important factors in underwriting commercial auto insurance. The type and condition of the vehicles directly influence the likelihood of accidents and the severity of damages in case of an accident. A high-risk vehicle, e.g. large trucks or hazardous material carriers, would increase the premium. Employee age, customer numbers, advertising budget do not directly affect the underwriting for auto insurance. Question 13. Underwriting regulations and compliance. Which regulation primarily governs the disclosure of medical information in life insurance underwriting? A. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. B. Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. C. National Association of Insurance Commissioners, NAIC, guidelines. D. Insurance Information and Privacy Protection Act. Answer A. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. Explanation. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, is the primary regulation that governs the disclosure of medical information in insurance underwriting. HIPAA ensures that personal health information is protected and limits how medical records are shared with insurers, while FCRA addresses the use of credit reports and NAIC guidelines set general insurance standards. HIPAA is the law specifically designed to handle the privacy and disclosure of medical data. Question 14. Underwriting risk management and loss prevention. Which of the following strategies would best reduce the risk of fire-related claims in property insurance underwriting? A. Increasing the policy's deductible. B. Requiring the installation of sprinkler systems and fire alarms. C. Excluding coverage for fire-related claims. D. Offering a discount on the premium based on the age of the property. Answer B. Requiring the installation of sprinkler systems and fire alarms. Explanation. Requiring the installation of fire safety measures such as sprinkler systems and fire alarms is one of the most effective strategies to reduce the risk of fire-related claims. These measures reduce the likelihood of significant property damage and improve safety. Increasing the deductible does not prevent fire claims, and excluding fire coverage would leave the exposed to significant risk. Offering discounts based on the age of the property is not as effective as enforcing fire prevention measures. Question 15. policy renewal and endorsements. At the time of policy renewal, the insured requests an increase in coverage. Which of the following is the most appropriate action for the underwriter? A. Automatically approve the increase without further review. B. Reassess the risk based on the current underwriting criteria and premium adjustments. C. Deny the increase request as it is uncommon to increase coverage. D. Refer the request to the insurance agent for approval. Answer: B. Reassess the risk based on the current underwriting criteria and premium adjustments. Explanation: at policy renewal, an underwriter should assess any changes to the insured's risk profile, including the request for increased coverage. This includes evaluating factors such as the insured's claims history, financial stability, and the risk exposure. Automatically approving the request or denying it without review could lead to adverse selection or inadequate coverage. Referring the request to an agent alone does not address the need for underwriting analysis. Question 16. Property insurance underwriting. When underwriting property insurance, which of the following is considered a major factor in determining the premium? A. The number of family members living in the home. B. The type of property construction and the location of the property. C. The insured's credit score. D. The insured's occupation. Answer: B. The type of property construction and the location of the property. Explanation: the type of property construction, e.g. brick versus wood frame, and the location, e.g. flood-prone areas, proximity to fire departments, are major factors in determining property insurance premiums. These elements directly impact the potential for damage to the property and influence underwriting decisions, while the insured's credit score and occupation impact premiums in certain cases. They are not as critical as the property's physical characteristics and its location. Question 17. Life and health insurance underwriting. Which of the following would most likely result in a higher life insurance premium? A. A non-smoker with no family history of serious health conditions. B. A 40-year-old with a history of high blood pressure. C. A 25-year-old in excellent health. D. A 50-year-old with a low body mass index. B. Answer: B. A 40-year-old with a history of high blood pressure. Explanation: a history of high blood pressure significantly raises the risk of cardiovascular diseases, which in turn increases the likelihood of mortality. Life insurance underwriting takes into account factors such as age, medical history, and lifestyle, and a health condition like high blood pressure would result in a higher premium. Non-smokers in good health or younger applicants with BMI are considered low-risk candidates and are less likely to face high premiums. Question 18. Underwriting documentation and reporting. Which of the following would most likely trigger a requirement for additional documentation when underwriting a health insurance application? A. The applicant's occupation involves minimal physical labor. B. The applicant reports history of multiple surgeries. C. The applicant is non-smoker with healthy diet. D. The applicant has family history of chronic diseases but no personal medical conditions. Answer: B. The applicant reports a history of multiple surgeries. Explanation: a history of multiple surgeries is a significant medical factor that can affect underwriting decisions for health insurance. It may suggest a higher likelihood of future health issues, which could impact the cost of the policy. Underwriters would typically request additional documentation such as medical records or physician reports to assess the extent of the surgeries and their potential long-term effects on health. Family history, occupation, or a healthy lifestyle are less likely to trigger the need for additional documentation. Question 19. Special insurance underwriting areas. Which of the following best describes the underwriting process for cyber liability insurance? A. It primarily evaluates the physical location of the business's data center. B. It assesses the business's exposure to online data breaches and the effectiveness of cybersecurity measures. C. It uses standard property underwriting practices as data breaches are similar to physical theft. D. It excludes coverage for any claims related to technology or software errors. Answer: B. It assesses the business's exposure to online data breaches and the effectiveness of cybersecurity measures. Explanation: cyber liability insurance underwriting focuses on the business's exposure to data breaches, hacking, and other cybersecurity risks. Underwriters evaluate the effectiveness of the business's cybersecurity measures, such as firewalls, encryption, and employee training. Unlike property insurance, cyber liability does not assess physical locations or traditional risks such as theft. It is specifically concerned with the potential for online attacks and their financial impact. Question 20. Underwriting risk management and loss prevention. What is the primary purpose of conducting a loss control survey during underwriting? A. To estimate the insurance premium based on the applicant's financial situation. B. To identify potential hazards and recommend safety measures to prevent future claims. C. To gather information on the applicant's personal or business background. D. To evaluate the likelihood of fraudulent insurance claim. Answer: B. To identify potential hazards and recommend safety measures to prevent future claims. Explanation: the primary purpose of a loss control survey is to assess the risk factors associated with the applicant's property or business operations and recommend measures to prevent potential claims. This proactive approach helps reduce the likelihood of losses, which in turn lowers the insurance premiums. Estimating premiums or evaluating fraud risk is not the primary goal of the survey. Question 21. Actuarial concepts in underwriting. Which of the following actuarial concepts most directly impacts the pricing of life insurance premiums? A. Loss ratio. B. Mortality tables. C. Experience modifiers. D. Premium financing. Answer: B. Mortality tables. Explanation: mortality tables are a fundamental actuarial concept used in life insurance to estimate the likelihood of death for individuals of specific ages. Underwriters use these tables to assess the risk and calculate appropriate premiums based on the applicant's age and other health factors. Loss ratios, experience modifiers, and premium financing are more relevant to other types of insurance. Question 22. General insurance principles. Which of the following is true regarding the principle of indemnity in insurance? A. It allows the insured to recover more than the actual loss sustained. B. It ensures that the insured receives a payment equivalent to the financial loss, no more, no less. C. It enables the insured to profit from their loss. D. It applies only to property insurance, not casualty insurance. Answer: B. It ensures that the insured receives a payment equivalent to the financial loss, no more, no less. Explanation: the principle of indemnity in insurance ensures that the insured receives compensation equivalent to the financial loss they have suffered, but no more. The goal is to restore the insured to the same financial position they were in prior to the loss, without allowing them to profit from the insurance claim. This principle applies to both property and casualty insurance, ensuring that payouts are fair and proportional to the actual loss. Question 23. Reinsurance and underwriting. Which of the following is a primary purpose of reinsurance in the context of underwriting? A. To reduce the underwriting burden by outsourcing all claim payments. B. To enable insurers to accept higher risks by spreading the risk across multiple companies. C. To eliminate the need for risk assessments in the underwriting process. D. To increase the premium income for the primary insurer. Answer: B. To enable insurers to accept higher risks by spreading the risk across multiple companies. Explanation: reinsurance is a risk management tool used by insurers to spread the risk of large claims or catastrophic events across multiple insurance companies. By ceding a portion of their risk to a reinsurer, primary insurers can accept larger or higher risk policies while protecting themselves from significant financial losses. Reinsurance does not eliminate the need for risk assessments, nor is it primarily aimed at increasing premium income. Question 24. Personal lines insurance underwriting. Which of the following factors is most important when underwriting personal auto insurance? A. The type of car the applicant drives. B. The applicant's credit score. C. The applicant's gender. D. The applicant's age. Answer: A. The type of car the applicant drives. Explanation: the type of car driven is one of the most important factors in underwriting personal auto insurance. It influences the likelihood of accidents, the cost of repairs, and the overall exposure to risk. Other factors like the applicant's credit score, gender, and age may also play a role, but the vehicle itself is the primary determinant of risk for auto insurance. Question 25. Underwriting procedures and guidelines. Which of the following is most important when determining eligibility for property insurance coverage? A. The location of the property and its exposure to environmental hazards. B. The insured's personal credit history. C. The insured's previous claims history. D. The insured's marital status. Answer A. The location of the property and its exposure to environmental hazards. Explanation. The location of the property and its exposure to environmental hazards, such as flood zones, earthquakes, and wildfires, are the most important factors when underwriting property insurance. These factors directly affect the likelihood of a claim and the amount of potential damage. While credit history and claims history are important, the property's physical environment plays more direct role in determining eligibility for coverage. Question 26. Ethics and legal considerations in underwriting. Which of the following practices would be considered unethical in insurance underwriting? A. Using gender as a factor when setting premiums for life insurance. B. Using race or national origin as a factor when determining eligibility for coverage. C. Considering the applicant's claims history when setting premiums for auto insurance. D. Providing clear and accurate information about policy terms and conditions. Answer B. Using race or national origin as a factor when determining eligibility for coverage. Explanation. Using race or national origin as a factor in underwriting is considered unethical and illegal under various anti-discrimination laws, such as the Fair Housing Act and Equal Credit Opportunity Act. Discriminating on the basis of race or national origin is prohibited, and insurers are required to base underwriting decisions on factors like claims history and risk, not discriminatory practices. Question 27. Underwriting in special circumstances. Which of the following would most likely lead to a substandard classification for health insurance underwriting? A. A family history of diabetes with no current symptoms. B. A history of smoking and high cholesterol. C. A recent physical examination indicating excellent health. D. A history of occasional headaches with no chronic conditions. Answer B. A history of smoking and high cholesterol. Explanation. A history of smoking and high cholesterol would likely lead to a substandard classification in health insurance underwriting. These factors significantly increase the risk of cardiovascular and other health issues. Insurers would typically charge higher premiums for individuals with these risk factors. Family history and occasional headaches might be factors to consider, but they are less likely to result in a substandard classification than smoking and high cholesterol. Question 20. Risk classification and premiums. Which of the following is a key factor in determining the premium for life insurance? A. The insured's credit rating. B. The insured's occupation. C. The insured's hobbies. D. The insured's health and medical history. Answer D. The insured's health and medical history. Explanation. The health and medical history of the insured are critical in determining the premium for life insurance. Underwriters assess the likelihood of mortality based on factors like medical conditions, medications, surgeries, and family medical history. While occupation, hobbies, and credit rating may influence some types of insurance, health-related factors are the most important in life insurance underwriting. Question 29. Underwriting procedures for commercial insurance when underwriting a commercial property insurance policy. Which of the following is most important to assess? A. The age of the business owner. B. The location of the business and the value of the property. C. The business's revenue from the previous year. D. The number of employees working at the business. Answer B. The location of the business and the value of the property. Explanation. When underwriting a commercial property insurance policy, the location of the business, such as proximity to fire stations, flood zones, or other environmental hazards, and the value of the property are key factors in determining risk and premium. Revenue and the number of employees are important in other types of commercial insurance, but are less critical in property underwriting. Question 30. Health insurance underwriting guidelines. Which of the following guidelines should an underwriter follow when considering a health insurance application? A. Only applicants with no pre-existing conditions should be approved. B. Applicants with pre-existing conditions should automatically be denied coverage. C. Underwriters should evaluate the severity and management of any pre-existing conditions. D. Pre-existing conditions should never affect eligibility or premiums. Answer C. Underwriters should evaluate the severity and management of any pre-existing conditions. Explanation. Underwriters should assess the severity and management of pre-existing conditions when considering health insurance applications. While pre-existing conditions can affect premiums and coverage options, an individual with a well-managed condition may be eligible for coverage at a reasonable premium. Denying coverage entirely based on conditions or ignoring their impact would not be in line with fair underwriting practices.